For us music teachers, trying to schedule something by email that's as simple as a phone call ends up looking something like this. I'd love to schedule a phone call. What time's good for you? I can do Thursday between 3 and 5 or Friday between 11 and 2. How about Friday at 11 a.m.? Sounds good. 2 days later. Whoops, sorry, I have a conflict that Friday. It doesn't work. How's Saturday? Saturday won't work for me. Can we do Monday morning? Yeah, how about 10 a.m.? Great, talk with you then. And that's just to schedule one thing. So imagine how many hours of time you would save if you could whittle all of this back and forth down to just one interaction. Well, this web-based app, Calendly, is going to help you with exactly that. I'm so excited to show this to you. You're going to save hours of time immediately. Here's how it works. Setting up an account is free. There is a paid version, but even the paid one, for the amount of time that you're going to save, it is completely worth the investment. So once you land here, when you set up your account, it's going to ask you to sync it with one of your calendars. Most of us have Google Calendar. That's what I use. You can sync it with Google Calendars, and there are some other options there, like if you use Microsoft Calendars, things like that. But in this example, it's going to be with Google Calendar. And here you can already see the different event types I've created. But when you first land here, this page will be pretty much empty. You'll need to create your first event type depending on the types of meetings or phone calls or whatever that you schedule. So in this case, let's go to create. We'll do an event type because it's something that we're going to use again and again as opposed to just one time. We'll say for this example, it will just be a one-on-one meeting type. And let's say I want this to be a 15-minute phone call with parents in this example. Now for location, you can select phone call. You can put an in-person meeting if by chance you're doing it in person. One thing that's really cool about this, I'm not going to go through all of it right now, but if you want to integrate this with Zoom, if you have a paid Zoom account, then Calendly and Zoom can connect with one another. So if you make Zoom as an option for one of your location choices, Calendly will actually generate a Zoom link just for that meeting. It'll do all of that work for you. There are a whole bunch of other options you can choose here. In our case, I'll do phone call. And then when you do this, of course, it asks if I'll call the invitee or if the invitee should call me. I'll just put I will call them. And you can also add other location options. So let's say I want to give the other person the option to talk with me by phone or to arrange a Zoom call. I can put Zoom as well. Description, I'll just put a chance to talk with Jonathan for 15 minutes about student things. And then here there's going to be a link. This is what you'll send to the people who are trying to schedule a meeting with you. Now, when I go to the next page, we're going to talk about day and time options. And in this case, you have a sort of a default schedule that you'll set up with Calendly that's sort of your working hours, or you can set custom hours. For this example, just to make it a little easier, I'm going to do custom hours. And let's say I want to make all of my mornings available. Just for this example, I'm not suggesting you do this in real life, but let's say I only want my weekdays to be an option during the morning hours. And it's very easy. If I want to just make a day not available, you can just uncheck that. Or if you want multiple windows of time available to schedule your meeting, you can click this plus button and then you have more options to schedule more time ranges. I'm just going to click the trash on that. And if you want to do specific date overrides, for example, for holidays, things like that, you just click date override. And then here you can select the dates that you want to either change the hours or just make unavailable altogether. I'm just going to leave that alone for now. Just some of these other options I'll show you up top. You can put your date range, so how far in the future you want your attendees to be able to select a date and time with you. And then the duration of the time. So in this case, I did call it a 15 minute, so I'm just going to click 15 minutes. Okay, I think everything's good to go, so I'm going to click next. And my meeting type has officially been saved. So now if I go back to my list of meetings or meeting types, you'll see my meeting type is here, 15-minute phone call with parents, view booking page. This is the important link, the copy link. This is the link that you'll send to the person that you're trying to schedule a meeting with. Now, there are two ways you can send links to people. You can send people basically a version of this page. If for some reason you need to schedule something where they need to select the meeting type, I don't personally use that, but I will show that to you in just a moment. I'll show you the one that you'll probably use more frequently. In this case, 15-minute phone call with parents. I'm just going to open up an incognito window here. When you send that to people and they click on it, they'll see a page that looks like this. Now we're in June, so I have to click 1 month ahead. But you see they only have the option to pick the weekdays, which is what I selected. They can select the day that works for them. And then from here, they can select the times that are available. Now, this is one thing I love about the Google Calendar integration, because let's say you add something in your calendar and now the times that you had set up in Calendly don't work anymore. Well, Calendly takes care of all of that. As an example, let's take July 21st, where I have all of those time frames available from 9 to 12. If I go into my Google Calendar, which I have synced with my Apple Calendar, and let's say I go to July 21st, and let's say now I have a commitment from 10 to 12. That automatically syncs. I'm going to reload this page. And now you can see those options are now gone because they're not available on my calendar. This saves so much time because you know that your availability is going to be updated as you change things in your calendar. Now, when somebody selects a time, they confirm. In this case, they can select whether they want to do a phone call or Zoom, because that's how we set it up. When we do the Zoom, it's going to generate a link. It's going to email that to them. And in our example, they'll put their name, I'll just put mine, and they'll put their email. And they can share anything that might help prepare for the meeting, and then we'll do schedule event. Confirmed. And then what happens is that this meeting will automatically show up in your Google Calendar. So that is all taken care of. And then your student is going to receive an email that has all of the details. They'll get the Zoom link, they'll get the time, they'll get the day, and they'll also have the opportunity to put it immediately into their calendar so that everything is synced up. Now, if you want to send them the equivalent of this page, which I mentioned earlier, you can do that. The situations are probably fairly rare that you would want to, but just to know that it's an option, you can go to Account, Share Your Link, and if we copy that, and I'll do this in another incognito window, then in this case, they have the entire list of meeting types to choose from. And then once they click one, like let's say somebody wants to do a 30-minute Zoom call, they would click this, and then they would go through the exact same process. Here, the days are a little bit different because this is for a different type of meeting. And again, you can change your availability based on the type of meeting that you're trying to schedule. And there you have it, all of these interactions to schedule a meeting down to just one, by just sending them this link, and then they can select their time with you based on the availability that you set. Go ahead and try this out. There is a 30-day trial of the pro version. There's always a free version. It's fairly limited, but even the paid one is well worth the hours and hours you'll save and be able to put into your other projects. I hope you found this video helpful. Do leave any comments or questions down below, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.